إلى حضرة النبي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نويت التعلم وتعليم وتذكر والتذكير والنفع والانتفاع والإفادة والاستفادة والحث على التمسك بكتاب الله وسنة رسوله والدعاء إلى الهدى والدلالة على الخير ابتغاء وجه الله ومرضاته وقربه وثوابه آمين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. وبعد. So today our kitab, we continue with our kitab Ta'lim Risalatul Jami'ah by Habib Ahmad bin Zil Habshi. So we have completed the the first two parts of the book, and now is the third part, the third part of the book, which cover ihsan or morals or akhlaq, you can call it. So the first part is the first part of this chapter. It will cover keeping the heart from vices. So we just to recap a bit, the religion or a deen. The deen it will it can be broken up into four. Mainly it's broken up into three parts: Iman, Ihsan, Iman, Islam, and Ihsan. And Habib Abu Bakr Adni, he have added one more, which is the knowledge of the science of the last hour. So actually we can break it up into four parts. The main categories, the main parts of the main parts of Islam. We can break it up into Iman, which will cover Tawheed and Aqidah. Then Islam, which will cover Fiqh or jurisprudence or Sharia. Then the Ihsan part is the cleansing of the soul or Tasawwuf, or can also be called morals or akhlaq. Then the fourth part, which is revived by Habib Abu Bakr Al-Adni, Al-Mashhur, is knowledge of the science of the last hour, which is actually Fiqh Tahawulat. So these categories can be further broken up into more categories, like Iman. Then they will cover Tawheed and Aqidah or Usuluddin. All will be covered under Iman. We have covered that in the first part of the book, but the basic in the basic sense. Then the second part of the second category is Islam, which will cover Fiqh, jurisprudence of the Islamic law, which then Sharia is further broken up into four, like the ibadat part, then muamalah, which is transaction. Ibadah is ibadah worship. Then second part is the transaction muamalah. Then munakahat, like marriage. And the fourth part is the jinayat. Jinayat is rulings of what is that? Criminal law and all, which will cover all the criminal laws and blood money and all this. That will normally be covered in the intermediate or further level. The basics normally they will cover only ibadat. Then knowledge of the science of the last hour, this will go into Fiqh Tahawulat. So this can be taken mainly, we can look at the hadith, which is famous and known as the Ummul Hadith. This is narrated by, also known as Hadith Jibril. This is narrated by Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhu, who said, while we were one day sitting with the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there appeared before us a man dressed in extremely white clothes and with very black hair. No traces of journeying were visible on him, and none of us knew him. He sat down close to the Prophet ﷺ, rested his knee against his thighs, and said, "O Muhammad, inform me about Islam." The Messenger ﷺ said, "Islam is that you should testify that there is no deity except Allah and that Muhammad is his messenger. That you should perform salah, pay the zakah, fast during Ramadan, and perform hajj to the house if you are able to do so." Then the man continued. The man said, "You have spoken truly." We were astonished at this questioning. Yani Sayyidina Umar were astonished by this person questioning Rasulullah SAW and then telling him that he was right. But he went on to say, "Inform me about Iman." He Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam answered, "It is that you believe in Allah and His angels and His books and His messengers and in the last day and in Qadar, that is fate, both in its good and in its evil aspects." He said, "You have truly spoken." Then the man said, "Inform me about Ihsan." The Messenger of Allah SAW answered, "It is that you should serve Allah as though you could see Him. For though you cannot see Him yet, know that He sees you." He said, "Inform me about the last hour." The Messenger of Allah said, "The one question knows no more than the questioner." So he said, "Well, inform me about the signs thereof." He said, "There are that the slave girl will give birth to her mistress, that you will see the barefooted, naked, destitute, the herdsmen of the sheep competing with each other in raising lofty buildings." Thereupon the man went off. I waited a while. And he said, Umar waited a while. And then he, Rasulullah SAW said, "O Umar, do you know who that questioner was?" I replied, "Allah and His Messenger know better." He said, "That was Jibril who came to teach you your religion." So in this long hadith, which is also known as Hadith Jibril, or and also known as Hadith, because it covers the the entire meaning of the deen. It summarizes the entire meaning and categorize it in this hadith. So you can see, like, the first part, it deals with the tawhid, then followed on by the iman, and then ihsan, and then he asks about the last hour. So it is from this hadith that the ulama have categorized the deen into four main categories. So we look a bit into the significance of the hadith. The significance of the hadith, the comprehensiveness of this hadith makes it one of the most complete explanation towards understanding every single outward and inward acts of worship to Allah. This hadith touches upon every single deed mentioned in Islam. So much to that it is called Ummul Sunnah, uh, Ummul Sunnah, or the foundation of Sunnah, similar to how Surah Al-Fatiha is called Ummul Kitab, or the foundation of the book. That is summarized in all this in Al-Fatiha. Same like the hadith, the deen is the entire deen is summarized in this hadith. From the hadith, we can break down the religion into four components, four important aspects. Then what when did this incident took place? Ibn Hajar says that this incident took place close to the passing on of the Prophet ﷺ, just before he passed away, and some says that is before the what is that Hajjul Wida, the last Hajj, the farewell pilgrimage, farewell Hajj by Rasulullah ﷺ, the last one before he passed away. Therefore, it is believed that Angel Jibril was summarizing the entire mission and message that Islam came to propagate and convey through this hadith. So he summarized it. So from the hadith we can learn a lot of things can be learned from the hadith, and some of it we will just go through a bit of it. Some of it is the appearance of Jibril during the meeting when he came to Rasulullah SAW. He was said he was described as a man dressed in extremely white clothes and with a very black hair. No traces of journeying or traveling were visible on him, and none of us knew him. None of us knew him. So all this, what is that? Um, all these points in this hadith, you can learn that. Okay, we can learn that it is sunnah. The ulama have taken that it is sunnah to wear white and be very clean when you come for ta'lim, when you meet your teacher and when you want to learn. It is sunnah to wear clean clothes, white and what is that? Well dressed. But and also we can take it from here that uh, extremely white clothes with that means no dirt and no traces of journeying, because last time when they travel from afar they will go through the desert and all, riding camels and horses. So of course there will be sand and dust on their shirt, on, on their clothes. So the fact that uh, Sayyidina Jibril was described as a man dressed in extremely white clothes with very black hair, that means there's no dust, there's no sand, there's no dirt on him, and no traces of journeying. Yeah, that means no dust, no sweat and all. And none of us knew him. So it shows that he is not from the town. He's not from the village. So because if he's from the village, he is not traveling far, so he can be clean and appear in that way with no traces of journeying. But now he got no traces of journeying and is extremely clean and well dressed. But none of us knew him. None of them knew him. So that shows that he is from somewhere else. But the thing is, if you're from somewhere else, you have to travel. But now he got uh, no visible signs of traveling on him. Hmm. So from there, you can see that uh, because he's an angel, so he came down and appeared as a man. Then secondly, the manners of Sayyidina Jibril. He sat down close to the Prophet SAW, rested his knee against his thigh. This is one of um, the way that uh, if you're studying, like they call it talaki. Talaki, that means you sit one on one with the teacher, and that's where the certain knowledge cannot be taken from like just reading a book. You have to go through and meet a teacher and get the nazarah from the teacher and get the barakah and all. So this is what he is doing. That's why the ulama always stress on the importance of talaki. Talaki is really study face to face, one on one with a teacher, not just by reading book or through the net or whatever, just by reading. Of course, there is no harm. It's okay to read on yourself, by yourself, read a book by yourself and study. And even Imam Ghazali do that. He studies certain subjects by on his own. But certain things like Akidah and all and Sharia, you have to have a teacher and you have to sit with him to gain the knowledge. And mm, yeah, that's very important. And seeking knowledge needs to be done with humility. showing utmost respect to the ones that are teaching us. So that is what Sayyidina Jibril is doing to Rasulullah SAW. He rested his knees against his thighs and come in a well dressed and clean. We must purify our intentions and seek knowledge in order to get closer to Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala, and invite people towards getting closer to Allah rather than becoming knowledgeable in order to attain worldly status or fame. Or the worst is to pull people towards yourself. That's the worst. That's one of the what is it? The mm, uh, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. What is mentioned as ulama usu. That is the bad ulama. They are pulling people towards themselves, not towards Allah. So they are getting the crowd and gather people to like to say that they are good, uh, like uh, but not to bring them to Allah. Then the third one is questioning. Questions are encouraged in Islam to learn or to have a better understanding of the deen or the sharia or to find out the truth or to even teach others. So like it's not that you cannot question. In Islam you are encouraged to question, especially when you don't understand. But questions which results in useless debates or for the sake of just winning an argument, these are all the things that we should avoid. Or to show that you are good, to ask the teacher and then answer yourself or to argue with him or to show to boost your ego or just useless arguments which will not benefit anybody in this world or the hereafter. This question should be avoided. Um, Other than that, if you don't understand, especially on the Akidah matter and Sharia, you should question and you should uh, clarify with someone who knows. And it's okay to ask questions to teach others, to enlighten others, just like what Sayyidina Jibril did. He asked Rasulullah SAW. Doesn't mean that uh, uh, he don't know. He knows, but then he asked Rasulullah SAW to teach the others around him. So the first part, we go on to the first part of this category. The first part is Hifzul Galbi Minal Ma'asi. Hifzul Galbi Minal Ma'asi is keeping the heart from vices. So the matan, we shall read the matan. وحفظ القلب من المعاصي واجب على كل مسلم وكذا حفظ الأعضاء السبعة فرض عين على كل مسلم. So the translation will be keeping the heart from vices is a duty or wajib for every Muslim. Likewise, the preserving of the 7 limbs is a compulsion of fardu ain on every individual Muslim. So Habib Ahmad is saying that keeping the he's just summarizing the whole uh, keeping the heart from vices in a simple way. So he's saying that it is wajib. It is wajib and fardu ain. For that means every individual have to do it. It's not fardu kifayah, fardu ain. So we can say that almost all of us will have this problem to keep our hearts clean, except for those who are selected by Allah, like I think Habib Abdullah Alaidrus. He was reading with his teacher, and they were going through the part of the sickness of the heart, and he asked his teacher, "Is this for real? Like people are having this sickness, their hearts are feeling this ujub, riya, and shak towards Allah, and hasad, higad, all these problems. Then his teacher says, yeah, this is real. This is like many people will have these problems and they have to cure it. There are cures. There are ways to cure this sickness. And all these ulama of the hearts, you can say, they will teach you how to do it through husnul dhan and dhikr and reading the Quran and having good intentions, good opinions to Allah and towards others, and all the etc. All the cures. Then he said, Habib Abu Bakr, Habib Abdullah said, oh, I don't have this problem. So he's naturally, Allah have given him like this, what is that, specialty that he don't have all this sickness of the hearts. Wallahu alam. So moving on. So keeping the heart from vices means from acts of disobedience to Allah, the Creator. So our hearts also can be disobedient because we have to understand that the heart, or in Arabic qalb. Qalb means is it turning or changes. So that's why it's called qalb. So meaning of heart is the meaning of heart we are talking about here is not the physical heart, is the heart, the real heart where the divine and subtle entity, which is the heart, that is the place of the gaze of Allah. Nazrah of Allah is being put. Uh, that is the heart Habib Ahmad is talking about. So this is a heart that the Quran mentioned, always mention about galb. Uh, this is the fortress of the human. So in the Quran, heart is also addressed as fuad, and also some sadr and lub. All these are used in the Quran when referring to the heart. But generally, the heart is galb. Galb is the means the heart, and also refer to the physical heart, physical and also the spiritual heart is called the qalb. And then Ahmad said, وَكَذَا حِفْظُ الْأَعْضَاءِ سَبْعَةٍ فَرْضُ عَيْنٍ عَلَى كُلِّ مُسْلِمٍ. That is the 7 limbs. Preserving, likewise, the preserving of 7 limbs is a compulsion, fardu ain on every Muslim. So 7 limbs will refer to tongue, eyes, ears, hands, legs, private parts, and the body. So these are the seven limbs that he's talking about. This will be discussed later on. He will discuss all the vices associated with the 7 limbs. So first we go through a bit on the differences. Imam Tirmidhi have the differences of the words referring to the heart in the Quran. Imam Tirmidhi have written a whole book on the differences of qalb, fuad, sadr, and lub. Uh, so the first one, qalb. Qalb is from qalaba, in galaba, meaning to turn or flip or change. That is the nature of the heart, which is constantly changing and turning in obedience or disobedience to Allah. This is the general meaning of the heart. When we say heart, that is it, the qalb, the heart which turns in and out. That's why there's a dua, Ya Mughalibal Qulub, Ya Mughalibal Qulub, Thabbit Qulubina ala dinik, Thabbit Qalbi ala dinik. That is, oh, the turner of hearts. Thabbit, that means uh, stay, make it stay. Make our heart uh, strong, or strengthen our heart, or make it like rooted on your deen, because our heart will keep on changing. It depends on the uh, the the level of our iman. So in the Quran, like I said, uh, fuad is used to refer to heart, and galb is used, and lub, and also sadr is used to refer to the heart. So the first ayat, the first an example will be Surah Al-Qasas. وَأَصْبَحَ فُؤَادُ أُمِّ مُوسَى فَارِغًا إن كانت لتبدي به لولا أن ربطنا على قلبها. The meaning is, but there came to be a void or ache in the heart of the mother of Musa. Musa's the Prophet Musa's mother. She was almost going to disclose, that is to identify, to disclose his the Prophet Musa alayhi salam. Had we not strengthened her heart. So this is the story about where the the Prophet Musa's mother, he put the Prophet Musa in a basket and let it go in the Nile River. So when he was about to do that, her heart is what is that? Wasbaha fuadu Musa ummi Musa fariqa, aches aches a lot, the emotional feeling. Uh, that's why the word fuad is used, and then the word gulp is used later. So fuad and gulp refer to both the same thing, heart, but it's subtle. There are subtle differences. So when when Allah says wa asbah fuadu ummi Musa, he was referring to the emotional heart of uh, Prophet Musa's mother. So that's why the word fuad is used. Then laula an rabatna ala qalbiha. The second part is the galbiha is where the iman or the patience is strengthened in her heart. That is called the galb. So it's actually the same thing, but there are subtle differences. So let's see, Imam Al-Raghib Imam Al-Raghib says that the term heart itself encompasses the soul, knowledge, bravery, and more, many things that encompass the word heart, but not the intellect, not same as the intellect, but is often generalized as the intellect. The same way the river doesn't literally run, but rather its water runs. But the running is generalized to the river because it contains the water. So the word heart or gulp refers to many things. That means encompass a lot of things. But the heart itself encompasses a lot of things. But it's mainly like it's the fortress of the human's fortress, but where the iman lies. That is the heart, the iman, where the iman and the Islam lies in it. Al-Jurjani refers to it as the true essence of a human being. That is the heart. That is qalb. Then Al-Tirmidhi, who wrote an entire book to the difference between words for heart, said qalb contains all levels of inner being. The qalb is a heart that can either be sick or sound, dead or alive, due to the beliefs and certainty inside it, as this is where the iman resides. So the iman resides in the qalb, the heart. Then the fuad, the second is fuad, from fa'ada. It's from fa'ada, which means to roast, meaning the heart is intensified with extreme emotions, anger, sadness, happiness, brave, brevity, and etc. Whatever emotions. Then when Allah is talking about the emotional heart, then He will always use fuad. An example is in Surah Al-Isra, Inna sam'a wal basara wal fu'ada kullu ulaika kana anhu mas'ula. So indeed the hearing, the sight and the heart, all those will be questioned. That means the emotional heart will be questioned. Not the Allah didn't say the gulp will be questioned. Allah said the fu'ad. That means when your heart is emotional, that doesn't gives you an excuse to do bad things. Mm. That doesn't give you an excuse. In fact, it will be questioned. So even if it's under extreme emotions, you have to control. You have to control, and your duty to it's our duty to control the heart uh, to the best of our ability. And another example is ma kadzabal fuadu ma ra'a. The Prophet's heart sallallahu did not doubt what he saw. So from here you can see that when fuad is used is is um, is associated with the emotional heart, where the emotion when the emotion comes to the heart, then it will touch the fuad. It will be at the fuad level. And the third one is sadr. Sadr takes the meaning of chest. And when Allah alludes to motives or secrets, he uses sadr because it gives the illusion literally of a treasure chest, something hidden and boxed up. It is also the place where secrets are kept, where the shaitan whisper. The shaitan whispers in the sadr, not the gulp, the sadr, and where the ego that commands to evil takes hold of a person. All this happens at the sadr. So shaitan does not whisper to the gulp, but to the sadr. We are the ones who open the gates of the fortress. So the fortress of our fortress is the gulp, and our hands, our tongues, our ears and legs and all our body parts are the key, the openings. So shaitan will whisper to our sadr, and when these openings lacks, there are problem, and we give an opening to our eyes and tongues. That means we sin with our eyes and tongues and ears and hands. Then these whispers will go into the gulp. So Allah protect the gulp, but it is us who like gives the opening through our sins. Alladhi yuwaswisu fi sudurin nas, Surah An-Nas, the one who whispers in the hearts of mankind. So it's the word here, the word used here is sudur, the chest of mankind, or the hearts. And Allah also often uses sadr when speaking about expanding the breast of His Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, such as Musa alaihi salam and Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Because sadr is the broadest, the most general term, and the most external layer of the chest, of the gulp. So it is understood that when the external layer is expanded, of course the internal also will expand. Hmm. And like an example is alam nashrah laka sadrak. Alam nashrah laka sadrak is used. The word sadr is used. Have we not lifted your heart for you? So that's the third one. And the last one is the loop. Plural is albab. Like we always read in the Quran, innama yatadhakkaru ulul albab. Ulul albab. These are the people of the hearts. The people of hearts. So they are like the highest level of the what is that? The highest level of clean. The hearts are clean. So the look signifies the pure intellect that is free from blemishes, deeper than simply the mind or brain. This is the intellect. So the word itself means marrow, pith, or innermost core of something. So the look, it is the innermost core of something. So of course for human, the innermost core will be the heart or the intellect. For this reason, Allah constantly uses ulul albab, the people of hearts, to refer to those intelligent and discerning believers who are in touch with their innermost core, that recognizes the signs of Allah and understands the truth, free from emotions of the fu'ad and beyond the hesitating fickleness of the human gulp. This is the true heart of hearts. So this is the top ranking. Yeah. So from the Quran, innama yatadhakkaru ulul albab. Only those endowed with understanding take heed. So those are the brief explanation on the four words used as hearts. So if we summarize, the sadr is where one's Islam rests. In general term, the sadr is where one's Islam rests. The Islam rests in the sadr. And the whispers goes to the shaitanic whispers goes to the sadr. Then the qalb is the place where certainty of faith or iman, the iman rests in the qalb. And it's like the eye, which is a term applied to all of its component parts that see. Then the fu'ad is a place of witnessing, having emotions, feelings, like the pupil to the eye. Uh, and then finally, the look is the innermost place where Tawheed rests, the light in the vision of the eyes. Uh, so the Ulul Albab, those people of true hearts, peel away the skin of metaphorical existence and subsist in the core of the true existence, which is only through the belief of oneness of Allah. So that is like the basic on the galab, the word heart. And there is a hadith that I would like to share. Hadith, there is a famous hadith. Beware, there is a piece of flesh in the body. If it becomes good, the whole body becomes good. But if it gets spoiled, the whole body gets spoiled. And that is the heart. This is the hadith from Bukhari and Muslim. It shows the importance of purifying the heart. Because if the hadith says that there is a piece of flesh in the body, if it's good, the entire body becomes good. If it's spoiled, the entire body becomes spoiled. And that is the heart. Uh, Allahul Qalb. It shows that the importance of purifying the heart. And a clean and good heart will enable knowledge to enter it. Knowledge does not enter hearts that are tainted with sins. So if the heart is not clean, knowledge won't be able to enter it. And the real knowledge will be in the what is it? In the hearts, not on the lines. Like that there is a saying. It's a poem or is a saying from the scholars. Um, what is it? إنما العلم ما هو في العلم ما هو في القلب ليس العلم ما هو في الصدور وليس في السطور. So the ilm, the knowledge is that is which is in the heart, not on the lines or in books. So the real ilmu is in the heart, the real knowledge. So I think we can stop here. Next week we can continue with the ma'asi, familiar ma'asi al-qalb, the vices, the vices of the hearts. Allahu a'lam. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ربنا انفعنا بما علمتنا ربي علمنا الذي ينفعنا ربي فقهنا وفقه أهلنا وقرابة لنا في ديننا مع أهل الكتب وأنت وذكر ربي وفقنا وفقهم لما ترضى قولا وفعلا كرما وارزق الكل حلالا دائما وأخلا أتقى علما نحظى بالخير ونكفى كل شر ربنا أصلح لنا كل شؤون وأجرنا بالرضا منك العيون واقضي ربنا واقضي عنا ربنا كل الديون قبل أن تأتينا رسل منون واغفر واستر أنت أكرم من ستر وصلاة الله تغشى المصطفى من إلى الحق دعانا والوفاء كتاب فيه للناس شفاء وعلى الآل الكرام الشرفاء وعلى الصحب ما صار به الغرر اللهم اهدنا بهداك واجعلنا ممن يسارع في رضاك ولا تولنا وليا سواك ولا تجعلنا ممن خالف أمرك وعصاك وحسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم الحمد لله رب العالمين السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته